Hello students, please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is exercise number 17 of the Progressive Monthly Magazine, May 2022 on the speed of 100 words per minute. Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, I have for over 5 hours patiently listened to the various suggestions and points of criticism made by several honorable members of the House. But when we say education is very important, it seems that this importance is not reflected by the presence of elders in this house. Because I counted the heads and I find that not even 10% of the honorable members are present. Anyway, when the respected leader of the opposition is there, I am expected to address you, sir. Since you are present, I am certainly to address you and express my point of view. Some of the honorable members have criticized us on the ground that we are undoing whatever had been done in the past, or we are trying to change the national consensus, and so on. I would like to draw the attention of the honorable members that even in the national policy on education, which was adopted in 1986 and which has been referred to in this house, is clearly mentioned at the end that the government of India will also review every 5 years the progress made and recommend guidelines for future development. Therefore, this national consensus was not final. Every 5 years, such a review should have been made by us. It was not made. It took 10 years. Now, when we undertake such a review and if we suggest some guidelines for future development, it cannot be said that we are undoing the national consensus or we are undoing whatever was done in the past. We are actually following the national policy on education. This has been reviewed and some of the reports of the review committee have been placed here. Others taken place at different levels, and we are preparing the new national policy on education which was placed before the ministers' conference. Then a copy had been sent to the various states, and many of the states have considered the draft national policy. They have expressed their views, but many want us to give them more time for this purpose. I thought I shall be able to place the new draft policy before this house and the other house in the course of the session. Now, many states have written to us saying that they would require time to consider this matter. So, the draft policy is delayed. But some of the honorable members have praised this development of higher education in India. A policy frame is prepared by the University Grants Commission. They have praised it and I thank them for that. At least they had some word of praise for the work of an institution which is with us and which is being financed by us either directly or indirectly, whatever it may be. When they praised this policy statement here, they mentioned about double standards set in the educational system. Then they praised adult education, universalization of elementary education, secondary education, and vocationalization. What is new in this book? It is entirely based on the priority which we had set earlier last year. Therefore, what this book says is more or less the substance of what we have indicated. So, when they criticize us by saying that there is no sense of direction, I would submit that this apprehension should not be there. We are not only having a sense of direction, but we are trying to implement it in a systematic manner. What is the system we are following? We have discussed the various aspects of our policy at different levels, and we had series of meetings with educationists and representatives of various bodies, both educational and non-educational, and we have consulted even representatives of political parties in connection with adult education program and the problem of student unrest. So, we are trying to meet the cross section of the viewpoints so that we can formulate such a national consensus. Then, sir, we are providing for funds for the priorities that we have set before us, and as I have told you earlier, some of the honorable members also have said about it earlier too. We have set our priorities for the first time in such a clear fashion, and herein lies the difference. The first priority for broad-basing education in our country is the part of our new education policy whereby we want adult education, and we have a time-bound program for making 10 crores of adults literate in 5 years' time. Now, how can we do that unless there is proper allocation of funds? As the Honorable Member has pointed out, funds are important, so we approached the Planning Commission, and I am glad to tell you that whereas in the past, plan only 1% of the total plan allocation had been provided for adult education, in this coming plan, 10% has already been provided for and more will be forthcoming if we can show results. Is that not an achievement, at least in some measure?